Learn house hacking for beginners, the real estate investing strategy that lets you live for free while building rental income and financial freedom. Here's your complete guide to house hacking your first property in 2025. House hacking is the fastest way to start rental property investing, even if you don't have a ton of savings, experience, or a six-figure income. Let's talk about what it is, how to use it, where the cash flow comes from, and how to structure your first deal so you're not just buying a home, you're launching your real estate empire. At its core, house hacking is the strategy of buying a property with multiple living spaces, living in one part and renting out the rest. You could buy a duplex, live in one unit, and rent the other. A triplex or fourplex, or even a single-family house with extra bedrooms and rent them individually. The goal is simple: generate enough rental income to reduce or eliminate your housing cost so your tenants pay your mortgage while you build equity. It's a strategy that turns your biggest expense, housing, into a wealth-building asset, and it's not new. But what's new in 2025 is how accessible this has become. Thanks to programs like Fannie Mae's 5% down multifamily loan, FHA house hack loans, and even local first-time buyer grants, it's never been easier to get started. You don't need 20% down. You don't need a perfect credit score. What you need is the knowledge and the mindset to structure the deal correctly. Real estate investing can feel intimidating. Most people think they need hundreds of thousands of dollars, years of experience, or a massive network. But with house hacking, you live in the property, so you qualify for better financing terms. You lower your living costs, giving you more disposable income, and you learn everything from tenant management, maintenance, financing, cash flow, and even tax deductions. On a small scale, it's real estate investing with training wheels, and yet it builds real wealth. If you start with house hacking in your 20s or 30s, by the time you're 40, you could have a fully paid off property, multiple cash flowing units, and six figures in equity, all from just one smart move. Let's walk through an actual example. You find a duplex for $400,000. With an FHA loan at 3.5% down, that's just $14,000, plus closing costs. Your total monthly mortgage, taxes, and insurance comes out to $2,500. You live in one unit and rent the other unit for $2,000 a month. That means your net housing cost is just $500 per month. But here's where it gets better. Each month you're building equity. Your tenants are paying down your loan, and the property is appreciating. Fast forward 5 years. Property value $480,000. Loan paid down $30,000. Equity gained over $100,000. That's a six-figure wealth jump, all while living there and learning the game. When you're hunting for a house hack, you're not just looking for a home. You're underwriting an investment. Here's what to look for. Location near jobs, transit, or universities to attract stable renters. Separate entrances and utilities, especially in multifamily homes. Properties with potential to add value, like a finished basement or garage conversion. Low maintenance features, because you're managing this property while living there. Use tools like Zillow, Redfin, Rentometer, and PropStream to run the numbers. You want to see if the projected rent from the other unit or units will cover at least 60 to 80% of your monthly mortgage. If it covers 100% or more, that's a slam dunk. Let's talk funding. There are three primary loan options. FHA loan, 3.5% down. Best for first-time buyers. Lower credit score thresholds, allows for 2 to 4 unit properties. Conventional loan, 5% down. If you've got stronger credit and income, this might offer lower PMI. VA loan, 0% down. For veterans, no PMI, an amazing deal if you qualify. All of these require you to live in the property for at least 1 year. But after that, you can move out, rent your unit, and repeat the process. This is called the house hacking ladder, and it's how ordinary people build a portfolio without huge capital. Now let's talk about being the landlord. If you live in the same property, communication is easier, but boundaries are essential. Here are some tips. Always screen tenants properly. That means credit, background, income verification. Use a written lease with clear house rules. Set expectations up front. Noise, cleanliness, common areas. Collect rent digitally, no excuses. And enforce the lease fairly. Your tenants aren't roommates, they're customers. Treat it like a business. Check out our companion video, 25 questions to ask your property manager, if you plan to outsource management later. Even though house hacking is beginner-friendly, There are traps. Avoid these. Buying based on pro forma rents, only trust actual in-place rents. If raising rents was easy, the seller would have done it. Underestimating repairs, always get a professional inspection. Overpaying because it'll cash flow someday, buy it right on day one. Living with tenants you can't evict, avoid verbal agreements or handshake deals. Skipping reserves. Keep at least 3 months of expenses saved for repairs or vacancies. One bad house hack can set you back years. A good one can change your life. Let's break down how to calculate your cash flow. Cash flow equals rental income minus mortgage, taxes, insurance, repairs, vacancy, and capital expenditures. For example, rental income, $2,000, mortgage, $1,500, taxes and insurance, $300, repairs and vacancy fund, $200. Your net cash flow is zero, but don't panic. If your housing cost is zero, that's still a huge win. You're living for free, building equity, and gaining landlord experience. Then in year 2, you move out, rent your old unit for $1,500, and now you're cash flowing over $1,000 a month on the entire property. Here's how the house hacking ladder works. Year 1, buy a duplex. Live in one, rent one. Year 2, move out, rent your unit. Buy a triplex. Year 3, move again. Rent everything. Buy a fourplex. Within 5 years, you could have 10 or more rental units, all purchased with low down payments, tenant-paid mortgages, and growing equity. That's the pathway to real wealth. House hacking offers powerful tax advantages. You may be eligible for depreciation deductions, write-offs on repairs, utilities, insurance, mortgage interest deductions, and a portion of property taxes. Talk to a CPA who understands real estate and make sure you're claiming every legal benefit. Let's wrap this up. House hacking is more than a strategy. It's a mindset shift. You stop seeing your home as a liability and start treating it like an investment. You live for less, invest the difference, and build real freedom. It's the easiest, fastest way to become a real estate investor in 2025. And you don't need to wait for the market to be perfect. Start learning your market, run your numbers, connect with lenders, and get after it. This isn't a fantasy, it's a framework. And you're one smart decision away from turning your home into your first investment. Check out our video, BRRRR Method Explained for Beginners. Download the free house hacking calculator. Subscribe and drop a comment. What's your biggest fear around house hacking? Let's build freedom, one property at a time.